Hey everyone, welcome back to Will's Bills Fam. We got a house tour video for you today. I think we've been here 2 weeks now and we haven't gotten really anything done. Like not a thing. For real. The house is just a wreck right now. We try to tidy up for the video, but you're just gonna see piles of stuff everywhere. That's just where we're at. I think we're 2 or 3 weeks out from having everything organized and all the stuff we ordered put together and put in its place. Still waiting on our couches. Blah, 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 yakety schmackety. It's just chaos right now. And I'm drinking a rum and coke to cope with the stress and all the other challenges. It's really not helping, but comment below with what you're drinking today. Hopefully it's good. So here's our kitchen. I'm gonna try to keep the complaining to a minimum in this video because we really are glad to be in this house. Feels great. It feels like a big milestone we've been waiting a long time for. But you're gonna see some flaws today. We pulled all the blue tape off of the house to just not have to stare at it, but we're in that phase where we're trying to move in and get settled, but there's still a lot of stuff the builder has to fix or finish up, and so I'll point out some of that stuff. But overall, you can see the kitchen. I think we really like it. There's not a whole lot of storage we're finding, but we just need to get a little bit creative is all, and it'll force us to not own a bunch of stuff, which is good. You see that?
Even when you do this.
See? Great fridge.
Great stocking.
Drawer that converts. It gets cold. We actually bought another fridge you'll see out there. Our stove, we already pointed out to you guys. We can't open the door because the fridge is in the way, but we're gonna see if the builder will fix that. We haven't used this. Oh, actually Crystal's been using it. How's it been working for you?
Amazing.
All right, amazing. We got this as a gift from our lender, which is pretty cool. We also got this gift from our sales rep. This is nothing but cake, and it could be the best cake I've ever had. I don't know. Same with you. It is amazing. And our solar person brought us some little mini cakes as a gift, and we've been enjoying that a lot lately. It was pretty fun. Here's one thing that the builder missed. They gave us a couple of these vents here on the, we call this the hood vent. So that middle one is missing. We'll figure that out later. We went with the black hardware package and then decided on a black sink to go with it. It was risky, but we like it. So the whole house kind of has that stormtrooper feel, which I love, but we got that touch thing going on. And then we have a reverse osmosis water filtration system below the sink. This is going to be mounted below the sink somehow, and then they're going to put a faucet right here, and that'll be our drinking water. It'll be super tasty, like bottled water drinking water, which is good because the water here is just horrendous. I can barely drink it. It tastes like dirty sock water. It's so bad. This is one of my favorite things about the house. We originally tried to put up some curtains. We actually installed them and everything, and it looked just restrictive. It took away from the big open feel, and there's really not much of a reason for us to be able to close these off anyway. No one can see in here. At night, it actually gets dark every night of the year, so we just don't need curtains. We may come back with some shades that roll down, but I don't know. If we do, it'll be because we just can't stand all the light coming in, which I just don't think is going to be a factor. But you can kind of see a little glimpse of like what we've been dealing with the last couple weeks. We have a lot more boxes to open yet, and it's just trash on trash, so just part of the deal. And then our exercise stuff out there is almost ready to install. We got the garage floor coated, which you'll see in a minute. So eventually I'll be able to get all that up and on the wall in there, and so that'll be off the back. These two cabinets have outlets in them, which is pretty cool. One day this will all be organized with just camera stuff, and it'll be a charger station for all the camera equipment, maybe some more stuff too, I don't know, but just a cool thing to be able to charge stuff and not have it sitting out with all the wires and stuff. Emery has taken over this as her slime cabinet. She's probably gonna destroy the house and Crystal's gonna let her. It is cool that she's passionate about slime. It's just hard when it gets everywhere. But it's cool. One day she'll own a slime business or something and be rich. Here's our table from Alaska. We think it fits in here fine. I don't know if I love the red against this. Like, does the two wood colors clash? Maybe you can comment below, help us out. Do we need to get a new table or what? We don't know. Before we go in the garage, we did end up getting a security system, which has our cameras. There's an alarm. We can do it all from our phone, so got that going. And then we've got a little closet here. This is kind of embarrassing. It's just chaos. But we've got our media center in there. You can see this is all the internet that we've wired throughout the house. So eventually that'll all be tucked into that box. And then I think we're gonna put our ice maker in here. So we have this ice maker that gives you the hospital ice, but it's a kind of a loud machine, so we don't want it out in the open. So we might put it in here, and there's outlets we can use for that. Back here we have our pantry, which again, I mean, we'll eventually, we like to keep a very organized, kind of good looking pantry. Like, looks like the store, you know what I mean? All the labels facing out. Crystal's huge on that. And I'm like, why do you waste your life? But she just has to have it a certain way or whatever. So we'll have all that going in here. Oh, and then we put an outlet in here down there so that we could mount our vacuum, not realizing like it's just not enough space and it cuts off a lot of the pantry. So I think the vacuum is going to go in this closet, and we probably have enough room to just tuck it on that wall. We have the outlets in here, so it should work out to mount in there. If not, probably the garage. We'll figure it out. We talked about this before, but they had to do some repairs to our slab down here, and to, I guess, help just cover the situation, they did a garage floor coating for us, which I absolutely love.
You say that.
The goal for the garage is to have both cars in here, but also be a storage spot for tools and things like that. And then our exercise equipment's going to go in here, plus an elliptical eventually. And I think that's it. It's going to be a huge undertaking, but the big idea is just be super smart about how we set this up. We had to get this water softener system. We got 4 quotes. It was a total nightmare going through that process. This ended up being $2,500. We could have spent as much as probably $4,500-ish.
57.
Oh, 5,700. Gosh. But all this is doing is removing the lame stuff that's in the water so you don't get water spots on your sinks. They say that your plumbing can go bad, all your water fixtures can go bad. So we're like, dang, man, just to not have your house go bad and have the water be just horrible tasting, you have to spend minimum $2,500 to get one of these systems. And then the way they installed it, I guess it's according to code, but I think it looks really dumb. Our neighbor down the road had theirs installed, and it's like nice and tucked into the corner. But our guy was like, well, I can't do that, code. Got to be 15, 18 inches away. So we're going to live with it. And then over here, I think we told you in another video, they buried our internet. So the Cox guy found it on this side, but really all that is supposed to be on the outside of the house. And I do think we're going to have them move it out there just because it doesn't look the greatest. I'd rather have that out of sight and out of mind. This is our water stuff. I've never seen this in a garage before. It's Nevada though, so we could shut off water to the house. We can shut off water to the irrigation system or the whole thing, and then you adjust your pressure from right there. So it's all just kind of sticking out, which is interesting. This couch, what's that?
They should have just put it all where that is.
Yeah,
So
that would have
then it
been.
would be like matching.
I agree. put that over there, because then it's all just kind of over there.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
have the rest like just plain.
Right. This couch is a part of our Murphy bed for the guest room, so you'll eventually see that. And then we'll have to get creative over here. It'll be kind of our tool storage area maybe. We had to get the counter depth refrigerator to fit inside the house, and those things are small. You just can't fit very much stuff in there. Small food run, and you're like, dang, where am I gonna put all this stuff? So we got an extra fridge, and for now it just has the essentials in it. But
Beers.
I actually really love this. This hole would have been probably storage if we didn't get another fridge, which is boring. And I love that we can just fit that in there. It's just nice to be able to stock up and then have super ice cold drinks ready to go anytime. That's a tankless water heater. And what I noticed, I'm sure Crystal probably noticed too, is when we're taking a shower in our bathroom, it takes like 5 minutes to adjust the temperature. So if you're like, oh, it's too hot, you adjust the faucet, and then like probably realistically like 2 minutes later, it'll change to whatever you set it to. So bit of a learning curve to figure out there. Here's our living room. Still waiting on the couches. We haven't heard from Lazy Boy. It's definitely past mid-September, which was their estimate, but I think they said mid to late September or whatever. Basically what we're having to do right now, a lot of this was just in the guest room, and we had to move it out here because we have a Murphy bed we're trying to put in there. So we're just kind of shuffling our stuff around, but that's, yeah. With our blinds, we went through blinds.com. They just have cheap, I'll say affordable stuff. And we ended up with these blackout shades throughout the house. Some of them are electric, some of them are pull down, and some of them are drawstring, just depending on the room. But for here, we got the motorized. It's not super fast, but pretty cool. Black was another risky call, because I mean, it's just so much black, but we like it. That classy feel is really turned out better than we thought, I think. So eventually we'll have decorations in here and a rug and some lamps, and we'll get the color part dialed in. Like there will be some color, but just as a base, the super dark, super light thing is working out, I think, pretty well. You might hate it, and that is cool with us. Comment below if you hate it. All right, here's the bathroom. Crystal wants to do wallpaper in here. We found out our toilets are horrible. They're not good flushers. You have to hold it down every time. Like if you just,
it just goes down and then it never stops. Our old ones just used to go like down like that, and this one just goes down like this.
yeah, we raised our kids on the slow closing toilet lids, and it's hilarious when they're not used to these normal ones that just drop down, because one of them will go into the bathroom and all of a sudden you hear boom from the seat crashing down, and it's just really funny. But here's our entryway. We got these lights to put in here, just some simple, again, black fixtures.
You're gonna have like black all over this.
I know, there's gonna be so much black, but I got these bulbs to go with them, because my thought was to do different colors.
Is there pink?
They're just pink. There's every color you can think of, but it'd be fun for like when people come over.
Oh, maybe for Halloween we could have like purple lights.
Or you could do orange, purple. You could do different colors for when people walk in. Could be like a cool feel. I don't know. We can't put the lights up yet because these things have to be leveled out. That one over there is 1/2 inch low. You guys already know that if you've been watching, but yeah, they have to come in and repair those, and then we can get the lights up. The TVs, one of these is for that room over there, and then one is for outside, because we're gonna sit outside and watch football and barbecue and all that. Here's something I'll point out that needs to be repaired. They, right at the last second, they put all this in, they finished it. texture, paint, all that, like right at the last minute, and it just looks horrible. If you stand back, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. And here's how you can tell, like we got the hard corners and in the house, and this is almost a bull nose from just, sloppy work. And then if you look over here, I don't know if you can tell again, but you have this horrible looking texture, and then here's the texture that was on the rest of the wall. Just clean, and then blotchy, or just looks bad. The guest bathroom has another really bad repair that needs to be done, and it's basically this wall right here. You can probably see it pretty easy, but it curves down at the bottom.
Oh, see, that's.
Did you see the curve down there at the bottom? Curves out, and then as you go up, it kind of like twists. So if you look up there, it's like twisted. It just looks horrible. So hopefully we can get that stuff fixed. The downside is this place is still going to be a construction zone for who knows how long, but part of the process. So we got our Murphy bed in, and you can see this is going to be a little bit of a project to put together. We got all the parts laid out. Essentially, these two cabinets are going to be on the outside. These two are kind of on the outside of the bed, and you can see the hardware that the bed will lower down from, and it'll probably take us a few hours, and then we got to get the mattress still. But yeah, the big idea is that Murphy bed will be on the back. The couch in the garage will sit in front of it. We're gonna have a desk on this side, nice little desk, and then a TV right here. And then we'll kind of accessorize. Okay, we'll head upstairs. This has been our favorite room so far. It just has the basics in it for now, the couch, TV console. But this is our chill room. And eventually we'll get some pictures up and all that and kind of make it feel a little more homey, but we've been loving the Sonos soundbar and the subwoofer over here. We watched Top Gun last night. I think that was my 4th time seeing it. And it was just as good as ever. You got to see that movie. But we turned this sound system up pretty high, and it just felt cool. This couch was something we searched for quite a while. We looked at the Cloud couch, Love Cloud.
Love Sack.
Oh yeah, Love Cloud. That's a different thing here in Vegas. Google it. What'd you call it again?
Love Sack.
Love Sack. And then like all the furniture stores. But we were looking for that chill vibe, like super just comfy, cushy feel. But when you sit in it, your head has to be in the right position. Like when you're sunk in, you can't be like that or like that, or it has to be just right. And it can't be too soft or too firm. And the $10,000 Cloud couch, pretty comfortable, but then when you get up, the imprint of your body stays in the couch. And I'm like, this is what you get for 10 grand? So anyway, we found this. I think it was about $5,000. So middle of the ground pricing, and it's just comfy. Every spot is good. You can stretch out no matter where you're sitting. The problem we're having is like where to put your drink or your meal, but we're working on some solutions there. Here's an example of one of 1,000 things that the painter is going to have to come in and fix. Not so much the walls, but more so the trim around the house is just really bad. Can you see all that? Mm-hmm. There's just little dings and little bumps, and it just looks so bad when you look up close. It's finish work. The painter has to come in and sand down the trim, put spackle on there, get it all smooth looking, and then repaint it to where it looks like no imperfections. That's the idea. And I don't know what they did when they were doing the trim and paint and all that, but it just looks really rushed. It definitely needs to be addressed. Here's Nash's room. This is Nash's stuff. right here, when we closed on the house, or I guess during the walkthrough, this didn't exist. It was just flush right there. And so these doors didn't cover the whole hole. And they're like, hey, you want us to put 3 doors in to cover everything? And I was like, no, I'd rather you close up the hole, because the other room has these 2 doors and that little pony wall. So I wanted them to match. But anyway, they have to finish it. This is just kind of hacked in there. And this whole piece of baseboard needs to be finished. It just got tacked in. So this room still needs all the finish work done. They got to spackle, caulk, paint. So this is kind of a construction zone, so we can't really get Nash's room set up, but eventually we'll have some shelves and storage in here for all his stuff. We did get him one of those cube storage things. It was one of those boxes in the garage, but we'll put that together and he'll have 8 of those little cube things to put some of this stuff in. Try to get it a little bit more organized, but the long-term goal is for each of the kids' rooms to just be a really cool spot for them to be. We want them to want to be in here, so see if we can pull that off. We got these beds from IKEA, really good price, and then we paid someone to put them together for us, which probably won't do that again. It was more money than it was worth, and then the guy messed it up a little bit. So we got the kids' bathroom. We still have the lighting issue, which I think we've mentioned before, but one of the guys we've been working on with to get things repaired thought it was just a bad light fixture, but then I realized we have this ceiling light, the can light in the ceiling, and a fixture, and usually I know they always separate those on 2 different switches, but we only have 1 switch on the wall. And what probably happened is they buried the other switch behind the drywall. So they're gonna have to come in and rip out a bunch of drywall, find that wiring, put the switch in, redo the drywall, texture, paint, and again, this room is gonna be a construction zone to get these lights working. In the meantime, the kids it's a good thing it's light in the morning because they can actually kind of see in here a little bit. And then there's a bunch of stuff behind this door do you want to show it on the camera? Okay, go in there and look at it. Like I said, I'm not going to complain as much as I could in this video. Emery's room, still a work in progress. We want this to look super cute for her. We did get a vanity. We got to put it together, but it'll sit somewhere in here. It'll just be a little spot for her to sit and do her makeup. But the good thing about this room is it's pretty much done. There's no construction that needs to happen. So it's just a matter of getting stuff and making it look the way she wants. Our laundry room, we showed you this before, but this is going to be one of our main storage spots. We got to get a bunch of those little organizer totes to put in here, but yeah, that room's working out good. This is where the magic happens, folks. This is our upstairs thermostat. And one of the annoying things about the house is that there's 1 AC unit. So we're told that the upstairs and the downstairs thermostat have to remain within 2 degrees of each other. And if they're not, then it's going to throw something out of whack as far as the air conditioning system. And then we'll end up having a much bigger bill the following month. I don't know what that means, but it's been really annoying having to deal with that because it's always like, okay, run downstairs. What is that on? Now we can go adjust this one, and sometimes we gotta step them up because we like it really cold at night, and then we try to warm it up during the day to not, just make this place an icebox all day long. But we're eventually going to get the electric company gives away a free digital thermostat you can do from your phone. That should solve the issue. We can at least adjust both of them at the same time and prevent that issue. Here's our patio that we have yet to use. I think it'll be one of those fall or spring type things we do when the weather is just right. Yeah, pretty sweet view. Camera doesn't ever do it justice. But we got the mountains. We got the city. Looks pretty cool at night when it's all lit up. And then we're told that this thing across the street over here is eventually going to be a park. Like they're going to landscape it and make it usable, which is going to look awesome, and it's going to be really nice to have it right there. We started watching Succession. That was it called? I really like it. There's something about the vibe. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm excited for the next episode, but occasionally when we are feeling up for it, we crawl into bed and throw on an episode, and pretty nice to have that sitting right there. I've probably mentioned this in a previous video, like everything else I've said today. Can you hear me over that AC? I think it's kind of loud. Vegas does this thing where you have your master bedroom here, and then the master bath is open. So when I'm getting ready in the morning, if Crystal was to still be asleep, she's going to get all the light and the noise coming right out. So we talked about maybe doing a barn door, but we don't know yet. We just got to live with it for a while and see what it's like. Might not be an issue. They just got this mirror in recently, and it looks pretty cool. Like it really kind of opens up the room and feels gigantic in here, having two big mirrors. They still haven't put these lights in yet. They had to move one of them, and so they got that kind of done, and then no one put the lights back in. So maybe an electrician needs to come out. But the bathroom's been feeling really good. It's definitely nice and open. The shower, I'm not used to having to close the curtain. And the other day I got in the shower, just autopilot, and then I look over here and I'm like, oh geez, the thing's open. And if somebody over there with like a hunting monoscope wanted to like look at me, they got one heck of a show, okay? But yeah, I gotta get used to closing this thing before I jump in the shower. The shower kind of sucks, to be honest. The head is lame. The pattern, you know, the feel of it is just like someone kind of poking you a little bit. Crystal doesn't mind it, but I think it's lame. I like a nice, even feel. But the other lame thing is that the drain on this thing is super loud. Do you want to hear it? Wait for it. It's a lot worse when you're in there because the water hits your body and then it drains in such a way. It's just loud. I'm like, would you shut up? So I found myself standing, like putting my foot over it to prevent that sound so I can have a nice peaceful shower. But I think I might look for a different drain with maybe different holes. Could prevent it. The bathtub, we haven't used it yet, neither one of us, but we do have bath salts in case we ever get to that. Yeah, this thing is huge. For one person, that's a nice, luxurious tub. We did both sit in it to test it out. And if you sit opposite of each other, you can kind of squeeze in there. And then our closet, it's a wreck, man. We have more in here than I thought. We could probably get rid of some of this. We don't need coats anymore, right? No, you do. It actually gets pretty cold in the winter. But I think way down the road, we're going to have to do something different than this because shoes on the floor and stuff's just kind of lame. We probably need a whole system in here. For now, Crystal ordered a couple shoe racks, one of those cube drawer things, and it'll be a good enough patch till we can eventually do a big project in here and get it all sweet. So yeah, there you go. There's a look at the house. We'll do another one soon as we get the place kind of finished up. I think it's going to look sweet when we're done. It's just going to take a ton of work to get there. I'm very particular. Crystal actually is too. We're both actually pretty particular about how we want the house to look and feel. And we know we'll get there eventually. It'll probably be 3 or 4 weeks with both of us having to do work and manage the kids and all that. Jeez. All in all, it's been fun. We're A lot of days we come home and all we can do is sit on the couch and order pizza and watch a movie, but that's fine. There's no rush to do any of this stuff, and we'll just do what we can when we can. So we'll keep you updated and see you on another one soon.